Good evening, guys. Welcome to Tony's Tech Talk, episode 5. My name is Tony Hannity's, and today we are going to talk about two very big tech news pieces that kind of unwove throughout the past few days. First and foremost, Apple is buying Beats, and T-Mobile and Sprint are finally merging, combining the third and fourth largest wireless carriers here in the United States of America. But first, before we do that, let's go ahead and start with the first news piece, which is Apple buying Beats Electronics for around $3.2 million. So for those of you who are not familiar with Apple, they are a major technology company that creates cell phones, tablets, computers. They have some of the best, beautiful-looking devices on the market. And although they started off in a very minimal and small market share, they have grown to be a behemoth and definitely a competitor to the likes of Microsoft and Google, for that matter. They are a pioneer in the music sector as they came out not with the first MP3 player, but the most beautiful looking MP3 player on the market with the iPod. They had a number of a number of agreements with bands like U2 and some really great marketing campaigns that really got the iPod front and center ahead of the likes of Microsoft's Zune. Now they are trying to reinvent or maybe try to push themselves up and over the edge of other competitors like Google and I don't know, whoever else is trying to make MP3 players, or whoever else is out there trying to compete in the music space. Because right now, music isn't about necessarily selling the tracks, but who are you using to listen to the tracks? Right now, we use Spotify, Slacker, Rdio, iTunes Radio. Some of you do use that, but not a large amount. Although iTunes Radio is baked into the iTunes experience and it's free with ads, or $25 a year with no ads, with iTunes Match and all that other jazz, they still need a little bit of an edge. They need a coolness factor. Now, Beats Audio, they have a coolness factor. Beats, which was the brainchild of the beloved Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine of, I believe, Geffen Records, they came together and created, which Sean Wilburn of Lazy Tech Guys, a colleague of mine, will kind of chuckle at, but they came together and created basically headphones that took the world by storm, and maybe not so much because of their amazing sound quality, because they're not the greatest sounding headphones, but really because of their marketing strategy. They had a ton of money and said, hey, Mr. Celebrity guy over there, why don't you wear these around your neck, and let's put Beats on everything possible and get the name out there. They have them on HP machines. Even HTC used to own the Beats name for, I think, about a year and a half almost, and they didn't really do anything. Then Beats bought Mog Radio, and returned that around into their own Beats Radio, which was a streaming radio option to compete in the streaming radio vertical. It's a nice app, and it's on iOS and Android, but it's not something that they came out so late that people were like, oh, there's an app for Beats Music. That's cool. I'm still going to use my Spotify. So Apple is now finally buying them for $3.2 billion. Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre are going to join the board of executives, and they're going to become, I guess, music executives within Apple. And yeah, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm totally joshing on you. This is still a rumor. Nothing has been set in stone. I know Dr. Dre and Tyrese Gibson but they put up a video, I think it was Thursday night, talking about how Dr. Dre is going to be the first hip-hop billionaire, which, since he has 25% stake in Beats, he would be a billionaire, which is pretty freaking amazing for his, he's got some, great projects under his belt, but to be able to get to the billionaire status with a B and join the Fortune 500 gentlemen and ladies, that'd be kind of cool for him. But we're still kind of unsure if this is all still very much speculation, or maybe they're just pulling one or two of the engineers from Beats. But let's just kind of play and toy with the idea. If Beats was actually becoming an Apple entity, an Apple product, and they would be essentially guided and led by Tim Cook. This is something that I don't even think, a lot of analysts don't think, that Steve Jobs would do. Well, it's kind of an interesting thing because Apple buys a lot of different companies, and sometimes they put their name in the front and say, yeah, we're going to we're going to own this company, and we're going to let them continue using their name, or they just do what's called an acqui-hire, which they actually did a lot more when it came to like their mapping products. Like, for example, do you guys know anything about C3 technologies or PA Semi? No, but these are technologies that have been baked into Apple's processors and like the Apple Maps, Apple Maps or iMaps, whatever they're called. So in any case, if they were to buy Beats, it would definitely be in their best option scenario, in the best interest, there's the word I'm looking for, to have Beats stay as a name brand. Because everybody, whether they want to acknowledge the quality of Beats or not, they know Beats. Like, even my dad knows, like, if he saw the B of the logo from Beats, like, oh, I've seen that. I don't know if it's any good or not, but I can recognize that. And that's what Beats has. They are a marketing behemoth. They're awesome at marketing. JV Ivan is undeniably a marketing muscle. He's amazing at it, and they have an amazing team. And maybe that's what they're just buying, is the amazing team that really got Beats out there. But let's just kind of toy with, if an iPhone, which is already kind of a cool, quote-unquote, cool device, because the battle between iOS and Android with all the Samsung Galaxies and this new HTC One M8 and possibly the LG G3, it's getting to the point where that Apple needs to, again, differentiate themselves a little bit more. Now, HTC tried this with Beats Audio baked into the HTC One M7, which came out last year. And just so for those of you who don't know, the M8, the latest version, does not have Beats Audio. It has Boom Sound, and the B for Boom Sound looks like the B from Beats, but it's not. HTC still has Beats Audio baked into their HTC laptops and desktops. This laptop that I'm using right now has the Beats Audio B right there. Do I hear the Beats Audio when I'm listening to music? Honestly, I don't. I really don't. Maybe I'm not using it properly. I'm hitting the play button, and I hear it, but I don't hear anything different than I would if I just had a regular, I don't know, speaker bar on a laptop. So, in any case, is that something that would give them back the cool, or are we kind of over that? Now, some people would say, maybe Apple should go with the more hipster purchase and get Soul Republic. But is it really about getting the name of Soul Republic or Beats or Bose? Or are we trying to up the ante of the brand and the marketing strategy and move within Apple and not try to branch out to acquire another entity to have to worry about like Beats? So yeah, we hopefully will find out a little bit more. Maybe they'll integrate Beats somehow into, I don't know, more Apple fashion with wearables, like there's the iWatch that we've talked about, and somehow have Beats Audio in the iWatch, or some sort of Beats technology that is unsurpassed by anything else, which again is argued many, many times about Beats quality and technology. But for what it is, for the layman, I guess, people like it. They're happy spending $200-300 on something that they really don't need to spend on. So to each their own. But yeah, we'll find out a little bit more if any of the stuff that I said prior to this moment regarding Apple purchasing Beats for $3.2 billion is true. If it is, awesome. That's going to make the next iPhone 6 really, really Well, interesting. I don't know if we'll see the Beats label on the back of the iPhone. Apple's really adamant about being very minimalistic about that, but hey, who knows? And I was listening to another podcast today. They did mention, if they were to buy Beats, this might be a way for Apple to say to you Android users, hey, we are on Android by proxy because Beats Music is on Android right now. And if you want to listen to your iTunes Match stream on Android, you have to have Beats Music and you have to have a subscription. So there you go. That might not be a bad idea. I mean, I doubt that they're going to put iTunes on Android, but a lot of people doubted that they would put iTunes on Windows, and here it is. So cool. Let's go ahead and check the Q&A and see if anybody has left anything. I'm actually switching back and forth between the Big Bang Theory, so bear with me. I might have. Nope, not yet. Yeah, so if you're checking in right now, I don't see anybody in the section. But for anyone who just pops in, the Q&A is open. So if you want to ask any question regarding the Apple Beats merger or rumored merger, let us know in the Q&A. Or if you're watching this after the fact, you can always hit us up on the YouTube page that this video is going to be playing on, or hit me up directly on Twitter at LTGTony, or here on Google Plus at Tony Hannity's. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, but this one is actually confirmed. This one is true blue, that Sprint is buying T-Mobile. So Sprint, being the third largest carrier here in the United States, they have a ton of MVNOs. I'm sure you've heard of them. There's Boost, there's Nextel is on MVNO, but they bought Nextel, there's Boost, there's what's the other one called? Virgin Mobile. There's Disney Mobile. How many of you had Disney? Any of you? No, none. Okay, I didn't think so. I mean, there's a ton of MVNOs, and then there's the fourth largest carrier that just bought, I believe, the largest prepaid carrier, which was Metro PCS. So T-Mobile bought Metro PCS, and Metro PCS is a direct competitor to Sprint's MVNOs, like I said before, Boost, and I think Simple is one of them. I also know Wireless Republic, Republic Wireless. I switched it to Republic Wireless is an MVNO of Sprint. There's Ting, which is an MVNO of Sprint. So if you MVNO is basically little subsidiaries of Sprint, and they say, "Hi, I'm a guy and I have phone service. I would like to sell. I want to use your network." And Sprint says, "Yes, you may, but you must pay us money. Pass us gold." And they say, here you go. And they can use the Sprint infrastructure to a certain degree. So, and Sprint's infrastructure isn't all that it's cracked up to be in the first place. So, yeah. I'm just saying, T-Mobile's better. I mean, at least where I'm at. And T-Mobile's the fourth largest. And I mean, if we're talking about like the amount of subscribers and everything, that makes sense. But yeah, Sprint is buying T-Mobile, and T-Mobile has Metro PCS. Sprint has all these other MVNOs, and so essentially we're going to have Verizon, then AT&T, and then T-Sprint, or Sprint T, or Sprint Mobile, which is Sprint Mobile's not bad, but doesn't go off the cuff as one might want it to be. Sprint Mobile. All Sprint. No, that's Alltel. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah. No, that's wrong too. This is all rumored still. This is speculation up the yin yang. It's everybody's like saying, yeah, like let's merge everything. And no, I mean, T-Mobile and AT&T tried to do that for God. I think it was like, what was it? $30-some billion. It was an insane amount. And obviously, we know the FCC said, no, that's a monopoly. We're not. No, you guys. Yeah, even if you divest markets and say, oh, here's a market we're going to give back to, or we're going to give to Sprint or give it to somebody else, the FCC was like, no, not happening. So that went down the chute, and actually T-Mobile made a crap ton of money. They made over $1 billion in that, just because the deal went through. So that's actually what they're telling Sprint. They're basically telling Sprint, through media, I guess kind of through us, through the bloggers and the press and whatnot, essentially saying that, if there was going to be a deal wherein that Sprint and T-Mobile possibly were going to talk about merging, T-Mobile basically wants a $1 billion breakup fee in the event that the deal falls through. And, and honestly, I think this is T-Mobile's way of saying, just give us $1 billion, just because we're gonna spend a crap ton of money with lawyers and going to court and trying to figure this out if we could actually merge. We kind of think it's not gonna merge. So since we already have this idea that we're not gonna merge, why don't you just sign on the dotted line $1 billion to us anyways? And you're the third largest carrier, you can afford it. And I don't know. I just think it's funny. And, the Sprint, the new company that owns Sprint, which is SoftBank, which is a Japanese company, their CEO already said, if something like this ever came about, I would not pay it. I would try to avoid paying this as much as I can. I don't want to have to pay any kind of breakup fee. And so I highly doubt that we'll actually see a Sprint T-Mobile merger. I wouldn't say in our lifetime, but at least in the next 5 years. Right now, these carriers need to come to even keel with themselves and figure out what plans they want to provide and what network they want to deal with. I mean, Sprint is right now just kind of trying to get their network up to par, as well as T-Mobile. And Sprint's doing their Spark, I think it's called. Sorry, my nose is itchy. It's Spark, so it's like 4G LTE Advanced, and then T-Mobile's doing something like that. I don't know. It's just a crazy thing. And then there's also this talk that Dish Network is considering a bid on T-Mobile. I think that rumor right there makes a little bit of sense. And there's also talk of the wind that Google would also put their 2 cents into that, maybe work with Dish and have Google Wireless as an MVNO through T-Mobile. I don't know what this is. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. Both are rumored, both are not true. As of right now, this is not happening. So if you clicked on this link saying, oh, something happened in the last 3 hours I didn't know about, through the time change, the Sprint buy, no, nothing happened. This is just me trying to get clicks, because I'm an a-hole. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little kind of teaser about it. It was fun. Let's just see if there's anything in the Q&A. Again, nothing in the Q&A. So that's pretty much it. You guys, I know I've been a little lax on the last few days regarding this show. This is episode 5 of how many days that I've missed. It's May 12th, and it's episode 5. And, well, if you give me the weekend off, that's 4 days off. But still, I'm missing a few days. And if you know what's been going on in my life, you understand. Hopefully. But in any case, I will try to get back to this. But tomorrow, which is Tuesday, May 13th, what is this? There you go. Tuesday, May 13th, on my other channel, LTG, or rather, sorry, that's my Twitter handle, Lazy Tech TV, Sean Wilburn and I will be doing our weekly LTG show where we talk about a bunch of tech news. And he's been on vacation, but the thing is, he's been listening to all this net neutrality BS that's been going on with the FCC and who's shady and who's trying to stand up to them and this and that. And he's been texting me. I'm like, dude, just wherever you are on your vacation, just do your vacation. Just be you and hang out and don't worry about this. I got it handled. But apparently he really, really wants to talk about it. So if you have any comments or questions regarding how all that pans out, you're still kind of unsure about what net neutrality, how it affects us, and what a common carrier is and a common cold is, well, that's something that you might need to talk to somebody else, like your doctor. But yeah, regarding how this would affect your internet usage, and this is something that Sean is very, very passionate about. So tune in on Lazy Tech TV Or if you're on Google Plus, make sure you circle Lazy Tech Guys, and you'll get all the updates regarding our live shows. Because we do it live, and they do what it do, y'all. And we do it here. We're actually not here, but on Lazy Tech Guys. And yeah, or you can hit us up on Twitter, Lazy Tech Guys, or hit me up at LTG Tony, and I will be happy to answer any and all questions that are tech related. I've been getting some questions that are related to like my earrings and my hairstyle or lack thereof. I appreciate it, but I just this tech. You know who you are. Okay, cool guys. Well, you have a good one. Thank you very much.